Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Slewfoot live show, live discussion of this book right here. It's happening. So today, obviously, we're going to be talking about Slewfoot. So feel free, like, if you have read the book, if you have not read the book, this is a discussion for you. It doesn't matter. There will be both spoilery and spoiler-free sections. So we're going to start with just like a quick summary and overview of thoughts and opinions on the book, and just like non-spoiler kind of reactions and how we're feeling about it. And then we'll move into the spoiler section afterwards, which we'll discuss spoilers and things that actually happen. So if you haven't read the book, then you can like hop out and we can catch you later after you read it. But I did want to quickly, before we talk about the book, just say that this was my second time hosting a readathon, and it was so very fun. Unfortunately, I did get sick, so that was like trigger warning cold. Yeah, it was not great for the readathon, but I did actually read 3 books, so I think I completed all of the challenges as well, so I'm pretty happy about that. And of course, I did read the group book, and that was kind of the most important thing for this readathon, so that I can talk to them about it. And yeah, I just feel like I got to read some like fun, spooky things, and that's like exactly what the Pumpkinland Readathon is for, like fun, spooky, cozy, Halloweeny, ghouls, goblins, all those things. So yeah, I had a great readathon. I'm definitely going to be hosting another one in the winter time. It's a seasonal thing, so we'll be back. I'm thinking of January. It's giving January. So yeah, that will be announced well in advance, so you will know about that. But yeah, since this is the last day, I did want to give like a quick little wrap up of my thoughts and feelings on the readathon, and if you participated, how you're feeling. I was like knowing, like last time I loved like hearing everyone like completing all the prompts and like reading the group book and stuff like that. It's just such a fun little thing, and that's why I love hosting the readathon and like doing sprints and stuff the other day. It's so fun. So yeah. But we can get into some non-spoilery thoughts. Let me pop up my non-spoiler little banner that I made. That is a great question. So I wanted to listen to the audiobook, but it didn't come in from the library. So I did actually read it physically. I do have the book, but I just liked the graphic better. So I read it physically. And I will say, like, when I was getting into it, it was a little bit hard to get into for me. Like, I really liked the writing style right off the bat. I liked the story. I knew the premise, but I wasn't like, I didn't feel immersed in it yet. Like, I didn't feel like it was flying by any means. But it definitely took a little bit of getting used to. But then I felt like the second half, I was really just like flying through it. No which pun intended. But I felt like it was super like, I could definitely picture it being adapted. Like, it was super descriptive, and all of the like outside of the like gore and like blood and stuff that's going on, there is like so much to be like gained from, I feel like, all the descriptions, and it's just very like purposeful and clever and really smart. I really like that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like certain parts I was missing out on, specifically those like song parts that I know, Katie, you've talked about in like your reviews and stuff. I definitely think that those weren't as like effective as a reading experience versus like an audio experience. I think that they didn't probably have like their full intended effect, because I was just reading them and I wasn't really like getting the vibe. I was just kind of like, okay, we're singing a song right now. Like, what is going on? But that's not a spoiler really. But the chapters are super long. Like, they are intense. They're like 30 pages, and this is a big book. Like, there are like solid chunks of text on these pages. So it is by no means like quick, easy, fun, light reading. And not that I thought it was going to be, but yeah, it definitely like takes a little getting used to, like reading a page for the long. But I think that also has to do with like the format of the book. Like it's a huge book, like it's like picture book size, like, but definitely not for children. But it's definitely like giving an art piece. It's giving art book. It's being a statement piece, I guess. but but it's not exactly like the best thing to like physically read, I think, at least in my opinion. But yeah, sorry, I had like went on a whole tangent there, and I don't really know what else I was gonna say. As other non-spoilery things, I am giving it 4 stars, I think, but I also am willing to change my rating because I've learned that when I discuss a book, my opinion on the book changes. And maybe that's because I'm like easily swayed. Maybe I would not really, I was just thinking about my place in this town, in this town of this world, and I was like, would I be a bystander? Would I be, I hope not. I hope not. I hope I'm stronger of a character than that. But I am easily swayed by other people's opinions on books, particularly. So I do think it could change. I don't know. Anyway, I'm giving it 4 stars right now, though, because I did really like it, but I do think that it was a little hard to get into. And I also don't know how I feel about the ending. I gotta be honest. I don't know how I feel about it. Without spoiling it, I feel like it was a little predictable, maybe not predictable, but like a little easy. Like I feel like we had this whole big things were happening, like it was a battle in many ways, and then something just happened, and I was like, okay, girl, I see you, but like, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have to like talk this out, and I'm glad this is a book club kind of book because I get to like talk through my feelings about this book, for sure. But yeah, I did like Abatha. I liked her a lot. I really like just the whole like journey of her character. I think is super interesting. I really like, well, here, hold on. We'll switch into spoilers so I can give you my true thoughts and opinions. But I really like seeing her go from like this kind of just like ordinary woman in society who does like speak her mind and like is different in that way, but then to go like have this full transformation to the witch by the end is crazy. Like it is crazy that like how much she has changed from beginning to end of the book, which I really enjoy. I really think that like those are some of my favorite like books and characters to read about in books, is like those who change so drastically. And I think she is one that changes a lot just because of her circumstances and just because of the things that she is like I don't know, those things that she's made to do, like freaking Wallace. Like, can we talk about Wallace for a minute? I don't want to. I don't know. I just one thing I wrote in my notes when I was reading this book is that it's so funny that this is a book that has all these like magical creatures, all these really disgusting monsters, and like scary shit happening. And the scariest fucking thing in this book is a grown-ass man. He is pure evil. Like it is so crazy. Like he is more evil than the actual devil in this book. And like that is just so, it's kind of funny, but like it's also just like such an interesting like choice. He's crazy. Like he's so intensely like, I don't know, aggravating is not enough of like a strong word, but like he is so hateful. Like for what? Like literally for what good reason? And the moral of the story is men are the problem. No, I'm pretty sure that was like at least half of it. At least half of this book was it saying like, here are all these like demons and monsters and whatever it is that you think are really bad and scary and evil, but have you ever taken a good look at yourselves? And I feel like that was like half of what the book was like talking about, is like turning the mirror on the town and being like, no, like, look at what you're doing to this person. Look at your effect on everything around you. Like, take accountability, take responsibility for what's going on. And I feel like that was just like a crazy little, like, I don't know, real world kind of like thing that is still applicable to like stuff going on now. That was another thing with this book. I was reading this book and I was like, damn, how did this come out in 2021? Because it is giving me Crucible. It is giving me Scarlet Letter. Like, I love the writing in this book so much. It like convinced me. So I want people to say Vex more. Oh my God. It vexes me so much that people don't say Vex anymore. Like, I love the language in this book. It's so like perfect. It like perfectly sets the scene. It makes you feel like you're right in the setting and the town. And it like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel exactly about like kind of historical books like using modern vernacular. Because like in the end, when Abatha sang fuck, I'm like, isn't there a prettier word? Isn't there a prettier word? But I just feel like it's so great. It really puts you in the place. And I felt like it made things, even if they weren't historically accurate, it made me believe that things were more historically accurate. I was just in Salem a couple weeks ago, and I went on a little tour, so I got a little brief history. So I did feel like I was learning a little bit through the book, and like it was matching with what I'd learned before. So I was like, I think you did your research. Like I'm pretty sure you know what's going on. But yeah. If it's a witch they want, it's a witch they shall have. No, it's so true. That was like such a, like that is on the movie poster. Like that is, I'm obsessed. I'm literally obsessed. No, we need to bring back Vex. I think that was like the main word that I noticed that they were using a lot. And I was like, no, I actually want to use that in my everyday life. Also just like the lack of contractions I was paying attention to. And like, yeah, I don't know. And then my brain wandered back to Wallace and I got upset. So less on that. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. He is dead, both figuratively and in my mind. So that's okay. What else? She is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't say anything yet about, we didn't talk about Samson yet, or Slewfoot. I think one thing that's fun about this book is are the pictures, these like full illustrations. And so like I really like that I like had a picture of especially like Samson and the wild folk kind of like in advance of reading, just because I'm not someone who like is really good at like clearly picturing characters and especially like otherworldly kind of beings and stuff. So I really liked that we had this like depiction of him. If you haven't seen it looks like that. Is this what you were picturing? Yeah, so I really like that. I think Samson himself is like really interesting. I was truly I think in the first like part of me reading this book, I was like reading Father in like his perspective, and I was going like, and I was equating it to the kind of like religious figure of like a father, and of like calling someone father. I don't know what that means. Listen, I don't know. I think that's like a priest or something. But anyway, so that's like where my head was going. But then I was also saying like that's a really interesting parallel because this is a book that centers so much around religion. So it's kind of crazy. Anyway, the blood thing is like something I simultaneously enjoyed and also did like make me want to gag. So I didn't love that for Samson. I gotta be real. Like I loved that that was his thing, and like we can all have our things, but the blood stuff was not it for me, to be honest. Personal headcanon is that Brom did the art before the story and inspired the story, but the opposite could also be true. No, I remember you said this on the live show, and I think that's so fun. Like, like, I just love that. That's so cool. Especially, like, considering how detailed these pictures are, and, like, how, I don't know, like, they're so, like, I was gonna say they're, like, really creative, but that's, like, a stupid word. But, these, like, they're animals, like, these wild folk, like, can we talk about them for a second? They're animals with, like, baby heads on them. What? Like, where did that come from? Like, where, what? It's kind of crazy. But I didn't love the wild folk. I thought they were a little bit annoying at times. And I gotta be honest, anyone after my girl Abatha is not like I'm not gonna stan. I'm not gonna stan anyone who's out to get Abatha. So that's like a minus point for them. But they were really quirky. I feel like they were giving you know, like those you know, like those like that like little duo in The Lion King that's like really like bantery and like haha, you know them. They were kind of, the wild folk were giving that. I feel like they were like the comedic relief, but not being very comedic. But I felt like every time they talked, they were trying to like be like, we need to interject, and it's like, oh no, we can't, rats, and then they would leave. that would be their moment. And you know what, they served for that moment, so that's all right. What else is there? Anything else you guys want to talk about while I'm looking at my notes? Yes. Oh, there's this quote that Katie put in the chat. Ooh. I love that. That out of ash, I will rise with my red hair and eat men like air. That part is kind of crazy. Like, that's kind of awesome. And I love her for that. That's so cool. Oh my God. I'm just like reading it again. Like, that is awesome. No, Abatha kind of slayed in this book. I gotta be honest. She kind of ate at times. Like, especially towards the end. Towards the end when she completely had that like 180 of her, not 180 of her personality, but that just like being like, all right, I'm gonna drink that damn blood. You know, like, hit me up. No bars. No. True. I feel like that is like not my favorite part of her, but one of my favorites. Oh, another thing I wanted to talk about is in the beginning, oh frick, what's her husband's name? What's her husband's name? Edward? Is that his name? Edward. Okay, where do we stand on Edward? Do we stan? Do we feel indifferent? What do we think about Edward? He wasn't in the book much, to be honest. But, like, to me, he made an impact. He also is kind of, like, one of the catalysts for the story. He's flawless. Okay. Oh, my God. Indifferent to the point of forgetting his existence. That's hilarious. I don't know why, like, I love him so much. Like, I don't know. I stand and read him as a neurodivergent coded. No, I read that. I feel like I got that as well. I really liked his character. Like, I was actually, as someone who like famously doesn't remember synopses, I was surprised when he died, and I was sad that he wasn't going to be in the book for that long. But I really liked him. I liked that he was like this kind of like sweet, softer kind of man, and like had Abatha, and she was kind of like the more dominant person in the relation. Anyway, but I like that he like listened to her, and like I don't know. I felt like he, like, especially in contrast with his brother, like they were just like such total opposites to me that I couldn't help but like Edward a lot. Especially because they have so many scenes in the beginning together that it was like, to me it was just like, oh, this guy is like actually a good guy, and like that's so hard to come by, especially in this book. And I felt like he was the only kind of sane like besides maybe like what is it, Reverend Carter was pretty okay. But you know, many people in this book were not killing it. And I felt like he was like a sweet guy, and he just like, I don't know, maybe he was a neurodivergent king, and I don't know, I just really liked him, and I was sad to see him die, especially in that way. Like, I was honestly like, Samson, like, you're slaying, like you are actually the slayer. But like, why did you have to kill Edward? It kind of hurt my feelings. Anyway. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I do feel like he gets walked on for sure. Yeah, like, I think I really wanted to see him learn a lot more from Abatha, and I felt like their relationship would be one that made a lot of sense and that he could like grow from. But like, this was also me being like, you can change a man. Shut up. Like, oh my god. Was Samson hot? Hold on. I didn't really see him like that. Not to like, I mean, go off. Yeah, I don't think I saw him as hot. I saw him more like, especially with Abatha, they seemed more like, I don't know, to be like like very close friends. Like I don't know, like, I don't know, he was very like protective over her in like what I thought to be like a very sweet, and like endearing way. Not in like what's the like dark romance trope, like touch her you die. Like, it wasn't giving me that. It was more like, even though I guess that's accurate, because like people did touch her and they did die. Yeah. But but I don't know, I just felt like it was more sweet, because I also felt like especially he was like figuring out so much in this book. Like, he didn't know who he was for a lot of it. And so I felt like, I don't know, I guess I couldn't sexualize him because he didn't know what was going on with his life. He didn't know who he was. But you know what? Maybe on the reread, you know, you never know. No. His personality in the audiobook was hunk adjacent. That's awesome though. That's fun. No, that's like how I read Addie LaRue. Like, I wasn't getting like hunk from like that kind of demon devil Grim Reaper character, but I know a lot of people were. So I don't know. Maybe that's just not my type. Maybe I'm just the Edward type, TBH. I just want a guy who's just like, I don't know, like, what are you doing with your, like, when she's like, what was she doing? It was like, she was like, oh my god, like, draw me. She's like, draw me just like this. And she's like half naked. Yeah. She slayed on that. She killed that. I'm pretty sure. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, I mean, Goodwife Carter is another character, or Sarah Carter, that I was really interested in talking about, because she was someone I was like, I'm gonna pay attention to this character in the beginning, and then she has such an interesting kind of like arc, I guess, in the book. My cat is yelling. Hilda. Okay. And I mean, she got really she got really screwed, you know? Like her storyline was really fucking sad, honestly. Like she didn't get like, not that anyone really got like a happy ending, or this is a book you should expect that from. But I felt like she got like the worst ending almost. Like her daughter like basically like sold out her friend Abatha, and then then Sarah got accused of like helping a witch, and she was like, no, I did not do that. And then she got like stones put on her and like starved and like cut up and like all this crap, and like, and then they really just tortured her entire family until she like died. And I felt like that was the worst. Like, maybe, sure, Abatha was like going through it, but like I felt like because Sarah, is her name Sarah like had the family and stuff, and like because they were tortured in order to get to her, that was almost worse. I don't know, that's how I felt about it. And like I felt genuinely so bad for her, because this was a character that like was probably, again, like one of the only like sane characters in town, and then she just got like completely killed. Yeah, she got killed. Sorry, it's not funny. But yeah, they murdered her. Crazy. You know something? I wanted to look up. This is so unrelated, but so they did a lot of like hangings of witches back in the day, and I was curious of what the past tense of hang is, because I thought it was hanged, like to be hanged, but it's written as hung. And like, this is a grammar question for any grammarians out there. Is it hanged or is it hung? Because I gotta know. And I could have looked it up, but it's just coming to mind right now. It's okay. I can look it up later. but it's just something I was thinking about while reading this book. Not that I think the copy editors did a bad job. Shout out to the copy editors of this book. They did great. Anyway. I also wanted to talk about the little romance going on. Not that there's a real romance, but I feel like there's a little one between Wallace's son and... Wait. I think we want it to be hanged, but grammatically it's hung. Really? Damn. Wait. Oh, interesting. That's all right. See, exactly. Like, I thought in the context of like a person, it's hanged. But like, if you like are talking about like putting a coat on a coat rack, it's hung. Oh, grammar. Me being a grammar Nazi just entered the chat. I'm sorry. Okay. So wait, is it hanged or hung? Which one's right? All right, I'm gonna keep thinking it's hanged. TBH. I'm gonna go on and think it's that. Ah, it's hung. Fuck. Alrighty. Well, that's fine. We can be wrong. Alrighty. Anyway, moving on. I was thinking about the plotline between Helen and Wallace's son, who I'm forgetting his name right now. Their romance. Like, I'm thinking about that because there's really not any like romantic connections other than that in the book. And I feel like it just kind of died off, and I don't know where it went. Like, one time they say they're, like, gonna hang out, they, like, kiss, and then Helen fucking accuses Abatha of, like, being a witch. So, like, what happened there? Like, where did that plotline go? That's what I want to know. What happened? And, like, was Wallace's son always a bad guy? Because, like, why would Abatha be helping, like, him get the girl, you know? If, like, he was sus from the start. Or was his dad just sus? And that just made him sus. And that made him do all the shit that he did, you know? Like, burn things down, you know? And, like, kill people, maybe. Or was he just, like, a bad person? Yeah, that's something I'm thinking about. Because that plotline seemed to be dropped. And not that it was important, but just that I was thinking about it. Jacob, is that his name? I don't know. I gotta be honest, I don't know. Anyway. Oh, mayhap. That's another word. Guys, bring back mayhap. Mayhaps we bring back mayhap. Mayhaps. Yeah. Anyway. Oh my god. My throat is so dry. Anyhow, I'm gonna say that even though I've talked probably this book to death, I still have more to say. But no, I think I covered everything. I think my rating stands. I think I'm gonna stick with a 4. I think there's like little things that I would change for the sake of pacing and things like that. But I think I'm still gonna stick with like a 4-star. Because I'm horrible at giving 5 stars anyway. So it's hard to be a 5-star book. But I did really like it. I'm curious, like, I know Bram wrote the Krampus book, but I also feel like I've only ever heard people talk about this book. So if you've read any of the author's other books and they're good, let me know, because I really liked this book. I really like the horror of it too. I do feel like it disappeared for a little bit. For like the middle third, the horror kind of died out and it was mostly magic. But in the rest of it, I feel like it was really, you know, it made me uncomfortable, and like that was good. Like it stopped when I was like, ugh, queasy, you know. So I felt like that was good. But yeah, so yeah, if you want to drop. Oh no, what happened? Krampus is about a white man playing the guitar and complaining about being poor while actively not trying to get a job. No! But it's Christmas! That's upsetting. That hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings that that's the plot of that book. I mean, plot. The lack of plot of that book. That's a shame. That is a shame. Okay. Here I was, hoping I would get a Christmassy read out of this for the next readathon. And no. Okay. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, we'll see what we end up reading for next readathon. But yeah. So I think that brings Slewfoot to a close. If you want to leave your rating or a little mini 1-sentence review in the comments so I can read them later or right now, you can do that. And then we can get out of here. Awesome. You gave it 4.5 stars when you read it last year. Perfect. You didn't have to reread it. Awesome. Katie, 5 stars. All-time fave. Yeah, and you've reread it, so awesome. Well, that is great. That about wraps up the Slewfoot book discussion and basically the Pumpkinland readathon. Well, you have until the end of the day to finish up your reads, but I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, we'll be doing another readathon next season. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all very soon. Bye.